Have you ever wondered what makes African cuisine so uniquely tantalizing? Let's delve into the world of pounded plantain, a beloved staple across many African nations with a special spotlight on Uganda. This versatile dish not only holds a place of pride in Ugandan kitchens but also forms an essential part of their rich culinary heritage. Pounded plantain, often enjoyed with a hearty soup, is celebrated for its delightful texture and ability to absorb flavors. Today we dive into the heart of Uganda to explore this delicious dish. First, gather what you need to create this traditional delight. At the heart of this dish are green plantains, known for their starchy texture and ability to absorb flavors beautifully. Alongside, a simple pinch of salt is all that's needed to elevate the natural taste of the plantains. Start by selecting 4 to 5 firm green plantains. These should feel heavy in hand, a sign of their freshness. With a sharp knife, slice off the ends of each plantain, making a light incision along the seams of the peel. This technique helps in peeling them more efficiently. Once peeled, cut the plantains into uniform chunks, about 2 inches in size. This not only ensures even cooking, but also makes the later stages of pounding much easier. As these chunks await their transformation, sprinkle them with a pinch of salt. This not only seasons the plantains but also draws out moisture, enhancing their texture when cooked. With everything prepped, we're set to start cooking. Cooking plantains is both an art and a science. Now let's transition to the crucial step of boiling these starchy treasures. Start by peeling the plantains, then cut them into even chunks. This ensures uniform cooking, which is key for the perfect texture. Place the chunks into a pot of boiling water. The water should be lightly salted to infuse the plantains with just a hint of seasoning. As the pot bubbles away, the plantains begin their transformation. The goal here is to cook them until they are soft and tender, but not falling apart. This usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the size of the chunks. Stir gently from time to time to make sure the plantains cook evenly. It's important not to rush this step. The softness of the plantains is what will ultimately make or break the quality of your pounded plantain dish. Once they're perfectly tender, it's time for the magic to happen. Now the transformation begins. As we move into the heart of the process, the plantains, having been tenderly cooked, are ready for pounding. Traditionally, this is done using a large, sturdy mortar and a heavy, long-handled pestle. The technique here is not just about force, but also about rhythm and patience. Imagine the pestle as an extension of the arms, gracefully rising and falling in a rhythmic dance. It's about striking a balance between power and gentleness. The goal is to crush the fibers of the plantain, blending them into one another without turning them into a liquid. This requires a consistent, pulsating motion that gradually transforms the plantains into a sticky, smooth consistency. Each pound releases more of the plantain's natural sweetness and starchiness, enhancing the flavor and texture. It's a labor of love, certainly, but one that pays off with each smooth, velvety scoop of plantain that clings to the pestle. After some effort, our plantains are transformed into a smooth, delightful mash. Our pounded plantain is ready, but it's more than just a meal. Once you've mastered the art of preparing this staple, it's time to serve it in true Ugandan style. Typically, pounded plantain, or matoke, as it is locally known, is served with a rich, flavorful soup. This could be a peanut sauce, a hearty bean stew, or a savory meat broth. The matoke is either shaped into balls or served as a mound, making a perfect bed to soak up the delicious soup. In Uganda, matoke holds a place at the table far beyond daily sustenance. This dish is a cultural emblem, woven into the fabric of Ugandan society. It appears in various forms during significant ceremonies such as weddings, birth celebrations, and even at solemn occasions like funerals, symbolizing a communal bond. The preparation and serving of matoke are seen as acts of love and respect. It's often prepared by the family's elders, passed down through generations, each adding their own touch yet keeping the tradition alive. As families gather around the meal, stories are shared, advice is given, and bonds are strengthened. This is not just eating, it's an experience that nurtures both body and soul. Thus, when you dive into this dish, you're not just feeding on calories, you're partaking in a practice that dates back centuries, one that celebrates unity, tradition, and the rich tapestry of Ugandan culture. Pounded plantain isn't just food, it's a celebration of heritage and community. Enjoy the taste and the tradition.